Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another Halo Club. Now today I am pretty excited because we're going to be talking about the possibilities of E3 2018. What is actually going to show up? Will we be let down this year, or will this year be one of the most exciting years for Halo as far as news, speculation, and discussion goes with the Halo community? So yes, what are the possibilities of this year's E3 2018 will be the focus of this video, but we will also be talking about what else is coming this year and what news we can expect in the next month. Now there will be news no matter what, and I'm going to explain that later. There are basically some things that can be implied with what news that we do get and what we don't get. And we're also going to be talking about how Halo 6 might have a real opportunity to grab the market back, not just the Halo community as it used to be, but also obviously, you know, ex-Halo fans and also people that have never played Halo before. And we're going to be talking a little bit about Fireteam Raven, the new Halo game that isn't exactly what we ever asked for or ever wanted, but nonetheless we are getting an arcade experience that will be available at real life locations of Dave & Buster's, so it's not like something you can buy at home or anything, unless you have like an arcade and probably a couple $100,000. But nonetheless, let's talk about E3 2018. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I like other games, surprise, surprise, even though we've been doing this for about 7 or 8 years now here on Halo Follower. What games will be shown at E3? Well, we have a confirmation that is 3 Minutes to Midnight, Anthem, Arcade Islands Volume 1, Battlefield 5, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Defiance 2050, Destiny 2, Fall Update, Division 2, Heavy Fire, Red Shadow, Kingdom Hearts 3, Remedies P7, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Strange Brigade, The Sinking City, Transference, V-Rally 4, and Warhammer Martyr. So some of these games really interest me, some of them I don't really know much about, but Anthem, you know, if you're a Halo fan, especially if you like Destiny 2, Anthem is something to look forward to. You know, with the debacle with everything that happened with E3, you know, that could be questioned, but with Destiny 2, a fall update coming soon, despite everything that's been going wrong with Destiny 2 lately, that is something to look forward to if you are a Destiny fan, especially, you know, since a lot of Destiny fans were or used to be Halo fans. So yeah, so some cool stuff is also going to be shown at E3 2018. Now, what are the possibilities of E3 2018, right? So what are we going to get? Well, Sunday, June 10th, all right? Sunday, June 10th at 1 p.m. Pacific time or 4 p.m. Eastern time, right? So put that on your calendar, guys. Seriously, open up your phone, go to the clock app, and add this time. Put on your alarm, right? This is June 10th at 1 p.m., right? So there's a couple ways to watch this, you know, YouTube, Xbox's YouTube app, Twitch, Mixer channels, I think Facebook as well. But those are pretty much the standard places to watch the Xbox Microsoft press conference. If there is any big news that will be popping up regarding Halo 6, that will be the time and the places to watch it at. So the big possibilities, I have 8 big possibilities here for E3 2018. And I think the most likely is a Halo 6 teaser trailer, right? It's been almost 3 years since we've seen Master Chief in action. And with them learning so much, you know, I made a 35-minute video a while back on why Halo 6 might be the best Halo game ever. There are tons and tons of things that 343 has learned. And it would be great if they opened up the announcement with sort of like a couple of those things really showing us that they have learned. For example, a big highlight on Master Chief, something that implies that he will be a part of the story, you know, a 30-second teaser that might show him doing something really, really awesome, that might show the entire galaxy and how it's changed in the past 8 or 9 months. And we already know at this point, because I made a video a while back, that Halo 6 will be taking place at least after everything that's happened in Halo Wars 2 with the Flood. You know, of course, they want to bring back the Flood, and I don't think Halo 6 is going to happen before Halo Wars 2. I think it's just so doubtful. So what I'm thinking is that it will take place at least 6 to 8 months after, and it could take place years after Halo 5. No one says that it hasn't or won't. So yeah, that is something to look forward to, and if they showed that in a trailer somehow and implied like, okay, it's been several years, humanity has been pressed under the thumb of these Guardians, under the Foreigners, and to show us exactly what's happened all these years will give us a lot to speculate on. And that's something that I'm specifically worried about, because I love speculating and I love talking about things and discussing Halo with you guys. And since they're not going to show a whole lot of Halo 6 no matter what happens this year, right? They're not going to show gameplay a day after E3. We're going to have to guess what happens. We're going to speculate on what happens and what doesn't happen, and pick apart the teaser, if there is one, to pieces. We're going to have to pick it apart to pieces and really speculate and analyze the hell out of it. All right, that's my job to you guys. We analyze and speculate, tinfoil hats on here, right? So yeah, that's something I'm specifically looking forward to, and I think that is the most likely thing, is that we see a Halo 6 teaser. Bonnie Ross talks about the future of Halo and how they've learned a lot throughout the years, and how this next Halo game will be revolutionary. It'll change the thing that makes Halo, why also somehow making it the same and classic and fun, and kind of taking away everything they learned from Halo 5. And I think that's what a lot of people like me and a lot of people like you guys are concerned about, is that have they learned, right? That's the big question. Have they learned? Have they took away of the mistakes that they made in Halo 5 Guardians, from Halo MCC, from Halo Wars 2? Are they learning on how to make a better game? And one thing I think will confirm in this teaser, which is sort of like, it's not exact, right? Anything and everything can change here. But when we see this trailer, it's going to confirm two major things, right? No matter what happens here, we're going to learn at least one thing, which I'll get into in a second. But the very first thing we're going to learn is the art style. Will the art style be the same, completely new and different, or something that of Halo Wars 2 or of Halo 3? And I think that's something to really look forward to, is because a lot of people, including myself, don't really like the new art style. It seems that the art on the maps, at least in my opinion, seem very clunky, very just not like all over the place. If you look at Halo 4's maps, they seem very unstructured, very messy, and very uninspiring, right? Very, very unenthused. You could tell that their spirit wasn't really into it, that they tried very hard, but their spirit wasn't into it. And that's something I'm definitely looking forward to seeing in Halo. But getting off topic, the art style is something that I love and that is iconic, and in my opinion is a part of Halo. Just like the monk singing and the soundtrack, this is something that I would love to see. Oh, and also that too, what direction are they going to go with the soundtrack? If we see a teaser for 30 to 40 to 50 seconds, we're probably going to hear some music too, right? I think that's a good assumption to make, an easy assumption to make. And we're going to kind of get a feel for what they're going to go in as far as the style with Halo 6's soundtrack, right? And I think that's a fair assumption to make as well. The very last thing that we can take away from a Halo 6 teaser popping up is, well, it depends, because if it tells us when Halo 6 is going to be releasing, then that would be great. But if it doesn't, then we can assume that Halo 6 will not be releasing this year. And I think that it's a very safe bet that there's no way that Halo 6 is going to release this year. They've never released a game, such a major title, such as a major installment of the Halo franchise in the same year that it was announced and advertised. So take 2013 as an example, take E3 2011 as an example. They always have the announcement a full year, at least a full year before they release the game. But with that being said, if they have a teaser this year, then chances are, I think it's pretty likely, it's getting up there 3-4 years now, when Halo 6 will finally release in 2019 fall, right? So I think that's what we can take away from a Halo 6 teaser, and I think that's what we're all counting on, right? So the second most likely thing to happen, in my opinion, is, unfortunately, and I know this is kind of a bummer, is nothing, right? Now, if there is nothing, we can assume then, at that case, that Halo 6 will not be releasing for quite some time. They've already said that, right? Is that there won't be any Halo news for quite some time. They said that around this time last year, and, well, goddamn, they were fucking serious when they said that then. So, yes, that will mean that Halo 6 will probably be releasing in 2020, because they're not going to announce it the same year that they release it, which won't be next year. And so, yeah, 2020, that would be a very long time. Now, the reason why I say the second most likely thing that they won't show anything is this, because essentially that is going to raise our standards for the Halo game, right? And that's going to really show us that, yeah, they are working really hard. They hired, I think, up to 30 to 40 new people at 343 recently. We have a lot of people moving around, shifting around. It seems that there are some big things that have been happening at 343 Industries these past few months. And with that being said, are they ready to announce a brand new Halo game? Even if it is releasing next year, are they ready to begin the marketing of this next big Halo game? Is Microsoft ready to do that? And I don't know. I mean, it could go both ways. And I've been disappointed personally by E3 2018, or E3 in general. I mean, so many times we have to throw that possibility into the mix that there might actually be nothing. There might actually be absolutely nothing. But moving on, what else do we have? We have a side Halo game. I think that is a possibility as well. Probably one of the more likely possibilities here, because, well, we'll get into the others and that are lesser likely. But a game like Halo Harvest, a game like ODST, a game that sort of plays with the Halo elements, and I've said this for a long time, and I'll say it again, 343, they're not great at making the Halo games so far, I think, generally speaking, right? Halo 4 and Halo 5. I just kind of prefer Halo 2 and Halo 3, and until they do, I think the best thing for them, at least for how they can shine, is purposely change the elements of Halo by making a side Halo game. For example, Halo Reach messed with the elements of Halo, right? And they made it into something similar, but also original, right? And fun and exciting, and it turned out to be its own thing, and people turned out to freaking love Halo Reach, right? And I'm hoping that 343 eventually does this, because they're not great at trying to follow Bungie's lead with Halo, but and if they are given the tools, they have the tools, if they're given the creativity to actually make a game that they want to, that they feel right to, then we might see something really cool without getting too annoyed that a major installment like Halo game, like a Halo game like Halo 5, has Agent Locke walking all over the place. I would have been fine with a game all about Agent Locke, honestly, but the fact that they made it about Halo 5, that's the thing that I have a problem with, right? And I think some of you guys might agree with me there. Maybe not. So moving on, a next possibility is a relaunch of Halo. So we've heard this a couple times, and it's a rumor, it's a leak, whatever it is, it's not confirmed, but there is some talks that there might be a relaunch of Halo. For example, something nicknamed Halo Genesis. Now, earlier this year, we had a trusted leaker claim that there was 2 Halo game ideas in development. Now, that might just be a mistake. That might just be something completely different that we don't know anything about. That could be Halo Fireteam Raven. That was actually that other side Halo game. But with that being said, there is a possibility that there is another Halo game in development. And just like the last possibility I mentioned, a Halo game like Harvest or Halo 5 ODST, for example, it shows that there is 2 Halo game IDs, or at least were, right? And if one of these were Halo Genesis, that is a relaunch of Halo, I'd be very curious to see how 343 Industries decides to go about that, if they decide to use the Master Chief Collection in a creative way, right? And moving on to the very next possibility, I think, is sort of transitions into that thing I was just saying, is Halo MCC going on to PC officially, and or Halo Online. So Halo Online is essentially Halo 3 on PC, right? And it's been in the Halo community and discussions like a lot recently. So yeah, I don't know if they're actually going to showcase anything. There's just not enough time to get everything organized, the paperwork and all that snazz ready for a grand presentation of Halo Online at E3. But I think what they will do instead is give a very subtle announcement that Halo MCC is going on PC officially, because we already know that they have a separate team working on MCC, separate from the Halo 6 team, right? So it would make sense to invest the resources that they've already started investing into MCC, right, into a new branch, into a new medium, which is onto Windows 10, onto Steam, right, to make even more money. It just seems to make too much business sense to not for them to not do that eventually, right? Especially with how many people are showing interest in Halo Online, basically Halo 3 on PC. They have to make a move, right? Microsoft, please make a move. Please let it be this E3, and please do something officially with PC, right? If they really want to branch out, it's right there, and it's always been right there. There's so many people that have computers, and there's so many people that would love to play Halo 3 if only given the chance, right? Or, well, now they do, but if they actually made it into a big official thing where we could stream it or make videos about it, then I think it would become a very viral game, something that would take a life of its own, especially with a workshop, some kind of platform for creativity, right? And moving on, I think that there is a possibility that there might be Halo 5 DLC, campaign DLC. Now, I said this was likely a while ago, but, you know, it's really getting to the point, you know, it's been like 3 years. I don't really see them investing much more into Halo 5, and I could be wrong, but it just seems like it's been such a long time. It would make more sense to invest into Halo 6 and to focus on that as far as being the future, unless it's actually some good sized DLC that might ramp off into Halo 6's story, that might kind of branch out and kind of prepare us for Halo 6's story. I really don't see them doing a whole lot with Halo 5's DLC. I think Halo 5 has already outlived its most fruitful and exciting days. Depressing, I know, but there's still so much to look forward to as far as Halo goes, right? And so much potential. And the next possibility is a Halo TV show trailer. Now, they said the filming was starting back in, or will begin in fall 2018, and it looks like it just fell out of development hell these past few months, because they announced it years ago, right? Years ago. And it just now, they said it was an active development, but honestly, the script has probably just been collecting dust in some storage room, and they finally got it through, right? It looks like they finally had a process that just, because that's something that happens with big projects, especially testy projects that make Hollywood kind of, you know, I don't know about that, right? And that's what happened with the original Halo movie, and it looks like this new Halo TV show isn't actually a TV show, right? I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that just like Halo Nightfall, which they labeled as a TV show, which just says it's a TV show everywhere, is effectively a movie. It is a movie cut up in small pieces, and in my opinion, that's not really a TV show. A TV show has different conflicts with maybe an overarching conflict and throughout the whole thing, right? But generally speaking, there's each episode has different characters, has a different plot that is satisfied or completed by the end, and you know, each episode has a story of its own. Halo Nightfall did not. It had an overarching story that led up to a climax and a finish and a big conclusion and everything, right? And that isn't really a TV show. So a movie, I think, is what they're going in the direction with. Now, I'm going to get into that in just a moment and what I think the movie/TV show will actually be about. But the last thing I have to say as far as a possibility at this E3, something that is actually tangible, likely, right, is something completely unexpected, right? We could always, because we have the big idea that there's going to be a teaser trailer, a side Halo game, maybe a TV show or movie, or MCC going on to PC officially, but we could also get anything else, right? You know, just because these are the big ideas and the likely things we think may or may not happen here, doesn't mean that, you know, maybe all these things don't actually happen and something completely unexpected, you know, they could release a new app. They could make a completely new website that changes everything. They could announce Halo going on to PlayStation. You know, they could announce literally anything here. And I think that's sort of what makes it so exciting. We don't know what's going to happen. And yeah, so guys, let me know, what is a possibility? What are some possibilities you think may happen for Halo at E3 2018, right? Anything could happen here. June 10th, 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's for the Microsoft Xbox conference. They're going to be showing off all those games I listed earlier, but also potentially Halo 6. And there isn't any confirmation that Halo is even going to be showed at this E3. But nonetheless, it is something to look forward to because we never really know until, you know, the event actually begins, right? So what else is coming? I talked about this earlier in the video. What else is coming this year? What do we have to look forward to? Well, one of these big things is Halo Collateral, right? It is a 3-part mini comic book series, and that is releasing June 6, 2018. But with that being said, that's 4 days. Actually, I said before it was 6, but officially now it is, since we know the dates, it is 4 days later is when E3 begins. And right when this comic book was announced, right when this was announced, the TV show was also announced to begin development, which it got out of development hell. So I'm thinking, what if there's a correlation with Halo Collateral? What if this is something that is ramping up into the movie, something that is ramping up into Halo 6? And is it possible that Halo 6 in this Halo movie TV show thing or whatever, and this mini book comic series might all tie in with each other, right? 343 Industries is building a big universe here, and we have no idea what direction they're going into. We just know that Halo 6 likely will happen in this story-wise, as far as lore goes, about 8 or 9 months after, Halo 5 Guardians. So there is a lot to explore, especially with his past, Master Chief's past, and yeah, that's really exciting to look forward to. Guys, I want to hear your possibilities. What do you think all of this means? Is it just a coincidence? Are these just a bunch of random things being thrown together? Do you think it'll tie in together? And do you think Halo 6 will be announced this year, right? That's the big question, right? We also have Comic-Con taking place July 19th to 22nd, which I think will be a possibility for something that whatever is announced or shown at this year's E3, it will probably get a second showing, a second preview, like an extended teaser or extended trailer for Halo 6, for example, at Comic-Con. Especially that would be a great place for the Halo movie or TV show to get some kind of teaser, right? Again, they're going to be filming in fall, so I don't know, maybe they can film a little bit and just have enough just for a teaser, right, for Comic-Con. But nonetheless, some really great stuff to look forward to. Now, that's pretty much all we're going to discuss there, but we do have a post by Hank Moody Bra posted on Reddit that I just wanted to discuss here. He says, Halo 6 has a real opportunity to grab the market back. You don't get second chances like this, usually ever, but Halo is a unique situation. Battlefield 5 is being chastised for its SJWBS, and COD is being thrown down the shitter, and Blops 4 looks like it is one of the biggest COD flops ever. Halo Online has proved that there is a tremendous market for old classic Halo, and 343 has one final chance to right the ship. They have done a tremendous job of keeping their projects under wraps. It's all a matter of how they present this. Don't give us fake marketing, put the game on PC, use the same art style as Halo Wars 2, and make the game for the casual community, in which gives the competitive community will follow suit and cater the game to their needs. So very simple, nothing revolutionary is said here, but I think it really drove the point home here is that 343 Industries, it made me think of Battle Royale, right? Because we're moving into this new era of video games in general, and Halo isn't immune to it, right? There's not really anything such as AAA games anymore, right? I mean, as far as quality and quantity and as far as story and everything goes, the biggest game that we have right now is pretty much Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And, a couple others, I'm obviously leaving a lot out. But as far as like a 1 or 2 or, 3 or 4 games being like the big things, it's not just for developers anymore, right? It's not just the corporations that are getting those AAA games. There's so many indie games out there and so many lesser studios that are making such grand games that are blowing up so big. It's really anyone's game now, which is great because it's got people like Microsoft rethinking their approach as far as what they have to do, because Halo has to compete with these other games. They have to somehow figure out how they can also be the next game that is viral and fun and exciting. And I think Halo Online holds tremendous potential and opportunity, and that's why I'm saying it needs to be shown at E3. It needs to be advertised. They need to be so freaking careful with Halo Online, because people just like me, people just like you guys, we want to play Halo again. We want to experience Halo again, but this time, we're not just going to want to play normal Forge. Give us the tools like they have with, El Dorito. The community is making the tools, giving us the platform. The platform is taking care of itself at this point. to make an amazing Halo experience, and it's not costing them any money. They could easily just add a platform, put Halo Online on Steam for $20, and then bam, they will have something that will actually be able to compete with all these other crazy innovative games. So that's what I'm thinking. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts about this. We have a couple quotes, some new information about Halo Fireteam Raven, the arcade shooter, the 4-player split-screen arcade shooter that will be coming to Dave & Buster's this summer. They say, is Halo Fireteam Raven only available in North America? They say, no, we expect Halo Fireteam Raven to land all around the world, and we'll share additional details as soon as we have them. And the next one is, what if I don't have a Dave & Buster's near me? And they say, Halo Fireteam Raven will debut exclusively at Dave & Buster's, but will be available for purchase by distributors and other venues later this year. So that's great news. That means that your local arcade, your local pizza place will be able to buy the Halo Fireteam Raven set for their arcade later this year. So it's just exclusive at the moment. And the last question is, why is 343 Industries making an arcade game instead of Halo 6? And they put it in quotations. So that makes me think, is it going to be called Halo 6? Of course, it hasn't been officially announced, but they could go in any direction. It reminds me of how they named Halo 5 Guardians, because the reason when people asked, why are you naming it Halo 5 Guardians, right? It's the only game that has a subtitle in the major installments of the franchise besides Combat Evolved. Why now? And they said because they're trying to get away from, being like Final Fantasy, where there's like, Halo 11, Halo 12, Halo 13. So they're trying to get away into naming it maybe, I don't know, Halo Reclaimer 1, and that'll be Halo 6. I don't know. So they could go in that direction. I think that's what they're thinking about doing, and they're probably considering it. But honestly, until it gets up to 10, I'm okay with it. What about you guys? Let me know. And so answering the actual question here, they said Halo Fireteam Raven was built by arcade legends Raw Thrills and Play Mechanics, collaboration with specific teams at 343 for story, art, and other franchise elements. The core 343 Industries game development team remains hard at work on the next Halo FPS installment. So we already know this, and it's sort of like a major duh, but yeah, Halo 6 is still in development, and it has been, right? They're working on Halo 6. That's what they're doing. That's their big piece, and I'm super excited to see what they're actually going to do with the game itself, but also the marketing, because, I mean, let's be real. I mean, what else are we going to be looking forward to for the next year, right? A lot of marketing and speculation and discussion, and that's half the fun, right? That's half the fun, because we get to use our imaginations, we get to be creative and think about what is going to happen with Halo 6, and we can all be wrong about so many ridiculous ideas that later just did not turn out to be true. It's great. I love this. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And let me know your thoughts about everything we discussed here today. What do you think is going to happen at E3 2018? That is the big thing, and I'm probably going to be talking about this at least a couple more times, and I'll be sure to post a video that is basically everything you need to know for E3. The times, the places, what to watch, what to expect, what not to expect, maybe a couple theories reminded in there, some stuff that we discussed here in this video, so don't get your hopes up too high, but I'm betting on one or two things, right? It's either nothing or a Halo 6 teaser, right? Could always be anything else. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Peace.